All right, check it out. So Max Michel and Lena Michalek have left Team SIG. And that's kind of interesting. People are talking about it like it's kind of like a scandalous kind of thing. And I'm not entirely sure about that. I don't really know if anybody knows the exact reasons that they're leaving other than them and their families. But what I can say is people are acting like this is like the SIG drama, 320 is going off, all the stuff. And that might not entirely be the case. I'm a little bit familiar with like these company product sponsorship deals, not necessarily in the gun space, but like in the music industry space with like guitars and amps and drums and things like that. And what I will say about it is, from what I've seen, like almost all of these agreements are pretty similar in some way or another, no matter the industry. It's a company seeing that somebody has some kind of talent and they want them to promote their product to that person's audience in exchange for some kind of something. If it's in the gun space, if you have ammo, then they might say, hey, we'll sponsor you to, we'll pay your match fees and maybe we'll pay your travel and just wear our logo on your shirt, and you still have to buy your own ammo. They're not giving you ammo for free. If you get a little bit better agreement with them, you might get ammo for free. If you're like a really, really, really good person, like the highest level, then you get sponsored by like a gun company that might give you guns for free. That's happened. I think like probably the most lucrative agreements that I've heard of as far as sponsorship goes are like, we're going to basically give you a position as part of the company and basically cut you a salary. So your entire job is just to promote our product as like, say Max Michel, for example, since we're talking about him, he may get the opportunity because he's, a super high level guy that, hey, we're gonna pay your match fees, we're gonna give you free guns, we're even gonna cut you a salary just to travel around, promote the product, do videos on the product with other people. He's been on GBRS, he's been with, other channels and stuff promoting SIG's product. And that's worth it to companies to pay for. Because what it's perceived as generally is somebody who's a high level shooter that can give their opinion about it. Now, the thing to keep in mind is it's not really an honest opinion. They're being paid to give nice opinions about things. So none of these people are ever going to say a bad thing about a gun, Like if your job is to promote, I don't know, High Point, are you ever going to say anything bad about High Point when they're cutting you $100,000 a year check and paying for all your match fees to go shoot High Point? And like, no, probably not. High Point's best guns ever made. In fact, zinc is a stronger metal to make slides out of, and magnesium is too, because steel is just too heavy and prone to holding together too much. You really don't want a slide to hold together. So anyway, what I will say, I'm sorry, I'm making a little bit of breakfast. We got Ghost. This is Ghost Chips Ahoy protein. What I'm trying to say is that we don't really know the reasons that they're leaving. What probably is the case, because you can't really breach contract like this. So it's not, people are acting like, oh, they're leaving. And it's because of like, as of the recording of this video, like 48 hours ago, some lady's 320 went off in the holster at a USPSA match and she got disqualified. Probably not because of that, because that's already happened before and they haven't left. And so what they're probably waiting for is just their contract to be up. And it probably has to do with a few things. Probably they got an offer from another company for more money. Like, I don't know, Lena Michalek, her dad has been with Smith & Wesson for like 100 years. So that might be, she could go to Smith & Wesson for all we know. She could start her own thing. I mean, she can do whatever she wants. She's the best female shooter in the world, probably. And then Max Michel, like, I mean, he could have got a better deal from Glock or Smith & Wesson or CZ or whoever. It doesn't really matter. Like, these people are, are desired to promote products. So it could just be they got a better deal and their contract time is up anyway, and they don't really have to re-up. The other thing could be that, hey, the contract's up and we don't really like being hit over the head with a shovel in the comments every single day, every time there's a video of us saying anything good about SIG. Everybody's in the comments taking into question our integrity and all this stuff, which, to be fair, you're being paid to say good things. So, I mean, it's kind of does call into question to a certain amount, I guess. Because if you're only saying good things about something, then I don't know. Anyway, and it could be like a combination of a bunch of things, you know. I mean, they could even, they probably didn't even talk to each other before leaving, you know. I mean, it could have just happened at the same time anyway because their contracts are up. Like, we really don't know. The circumstances happen to be good timing, and I'm not even sure, honestly, that it's good timing because the SIG stuff happens all the time. So it literally could just be their contracts are up, they're leaving, and a 320 just happened to go off last weekend. Like, they could have chosen any weekend this year, and that would have been the case. So, I guess we'll see. And the other thing is, like, people are saying, well, now that you left SIG, your duty is to, you know, come clean about the 320 stuff. And it's like, well, not really. There's a kitten somewhere meowing at me. Not really. Their duty is to take money to say good things about guns. That's their job. Their duty is to shoot well. And they probably signed like you know, this thick agreement of NDAs, which I know there's people that are going to say, well, like, NDAs aren't really enforceable under XYZ circumstances or whatever. And really, legally that might be true, but professionally, you don't want to go around breaking NDAs at all. So this, I mean, they might come out and say like, well, you know, SIG didn't really treat us the best towards the end of our contract, and that's why we left, and that's probably all you'll hear out of them. And they may say that like, oh, well, you know, they might like very quietly allude to some kind of problem with some of the guns, whatever. But they're never going to fully come out and say, yeah, the 320 was a broken piece of junk and nobody should own that, and it's a piece of crap that's going to shoot you in the leg if you carry it. Like, they're not going to come out and say that. That wouldn't really be wise of them to do professionally. Because I mean, and the public would love that. Like, us as shooters would probably like that a lot. Like, hey, somebody actually came out and was truly honest about like, hey, I left SIG because the 320 is dangerous and nobody should carry it, and they were treating us badly and making us say good things about it, even though they knew that it wasn't good. But immediately that's like end of your career and you're getting sued into oblivion by SIG, and other companies are going to look at that and be like, well, like, hey, Glock, we're about to release our Gen 6 and we don't really want there to be problems, and then this really high level shooter gets signed onto us and they tell their audience that it's a big piece of crap. So like, you don't want that to happen as a company. Any company doesn't want that. So once you start breaking NDAs, for better or for worse, like in the grand scheme of things, it's just not a good idea, and other companies look at that poorly. Now there are some companies in the gun space that maybe wouldn't look at that way, and that's good. I mean, I definitely appreciate the companies that have a good amount of integrity, but we're not dealing with like the solid mom and pop shops that, you know, are making parts or barrels or holsters or whatever other pieces of equipment. We're dealing with like huge billion-dollar corporations that have entire teams of lawyers on the payroll that look through everything before they sign anybody to anything. Like, when you go in for a music deal, they know everything about your background. And I'm sure they do the same thing whenever SIG signs somebody to Team SIG to promote their products as like a brand ambassador. Like, they know everything about Max Michel before he even shows up to the first meeting. So that's kind of the thing. All in all, like Max Michel, talented shooter, he could go anywhere. He could go to Glock, CZ, Smith & Wesson. He could go anywhere he wants to and do fine. And those guns aren't going off on people. Lena Michalek could go anywhere she wants to too. She's the best female shooter, like the only one that anybody knows about almost, as far as like pistol shooting goes. And she already did the Rose product launch with SIG, so Glock and Smith & Wesson want a female gun so they can sell to girls. Like, you know, even though, like, in my opinion, it doesn't matter, like, you should just get a gun if you're a girl. But anyway, I'm gonna drink this protein shake and then I'll stop ranting, because this is kind of like the talking head breakfast before work video that I was like, I can talk about product sponsorship deals, because I actually know it, like an inkling about it, that other people are just speculating on that they're leaving because of SIG's golf. It's like, probably not that. Probably their agreements are up and they want to leave for some other reason, and you're never going to hear a word about the 320 being a terrible piece of junk that goes off on its own. So anyway, I'll catch you in the next one, and I'll try to enjoy this.